Hi, my name is Vanita. Welcome to my channel, DreamWell Kids. I'm here today to talk to you about the benefits of life coaching for kids. Before I get started, I just want to clearly define what life coaching is so that you have a clear understanding of what a life coach does. A life coach, I'm taking this from Nikki Giant, who wrote a book called Life Coaching for Kids, and I will try to add the link to the description so that you can have that information. But she defines life coaching, kids life coaching, with three components. She says first that it's a client-centered model. It is both therapeutic and practical with techniques, and supporting clients' self-defined goals and outcomes. These are in line with what DreamWell Kids, my children's life coaching company, also believes. Only in addition, I would also add is that we align our interventions with biblical teachings, and that is really the core of our service. And what makes us a little different is that we encourage faith and build character. We want to help to improve good and useful traits in our children, and these are things that I believe help to make children's life coaching more effective. So I'm going to get started with my list. I hope you can see the list written behind me, but I'm going to define each one a little bit more as we go along. Number one, it is timely, it's accessible, and it's convenient. And with all of today's modern technologies, you can access it through phone, through email, through Skype, and also in person. I believe this is so beneficial because time, I believe, is our biggest commodity. We can't get more time. So if we can maximize the time that we have, and I can just make a phone call versus coming into an office, I believe that helps with convenience. So yes, it is timely. Number two, it is label free. It's label free because there's no diagnosis. And in the world of mental health, especially if you're new to the world of mental health, it's kind of scary if you're navigating this world by yourself. So one of the things that I like to offer as a huge benefit is that you don't have to worry about a diagnosis when you're getting kids coaching. You're really just focusing on managing behaviors, which is what some parents just aim to do. It's also less stigma. So with mental health and the whole world of mental health, when you're given a diagnosis and you have to tell somebody, oh, I have this, you might get a kind of a weird look, whatever the label is attached to that diagnosis. And so it can be kind of scary for parents to want to seek out a psychotherapist or a counselor, a professional counselor, because these are issues that parents might have unknowingly until they get the diagnosis, and then it's like, wow, I didn't realize my kid would be looked at differently because now they have this diagnosis. And I also know that in the African American community, we may shy away from getting mental health services because of the stigma that is attached with having a diagnosis. So in a coaching environment, there is less stigma. Now, I do want to caveat and say, however, if you present yourself to a coach with an issue that is not, that is a more deep-seated issue, that we would recommend, or I would hope that a good coach would recommend getting more psychotherapy or intense services that you can use to help to navigate this issue that you might be having. So that referral would be made by the coach if in fact a coaching environment would not be beneficial to the client. And then fourth, we said it was less intrusive. So also in the world of mental health, you have to get an assessment, you have to have a diagnosis, and you also get medications. And so you don't have to do any of that in a coaching environment, which I believe is a benefit for the client, because what if the issue is something like bullying? Do you need to see a therapist? Perhaps, maybe, but can a coach help you? Absolutely they can. And they can also work alongside your therapist to help with building skills. And fifth is that it's client-centered. So what I mean by client-centered is that, and I got this straight out of Nikki Giant's book, because I believe it was right on target with what DreamWell stands for and what we are all about. Client-centered means that we help clients reach their goals. We focus, it's very goal-oriented. It's a non-directive therapeutic approach, and it is it's also person-centered, which is synonymous with client-centered, and it helps us to better understand the client. So I believe this is a benefit for for life coaching for kids. Then I would say number 6 is that it's solution focused. So what do we mean? What do we mean by that? It is very goal directed, which is what I kind of mentioned as client centered. But goal directed is that we start to work on strategies that are significant to building solutions to dealing with the issue that the client has. And this goes along with what I said about aligning our interventions with biblical teachings. We try to align with things that we feel will help to manage that specific behavior that the client might be dealing with. And these are all useful in in a coaching environment where where we go into different skills and skills training, which is actually my next point, number 7. Skills training gives the client the tools to be empowered to help resolve whatever issue that they're going through, or to succeed without the coach. And I believe that's key, because you are learning skills that not only can you use in a counseling session to help resolve that one issue, but you can also apply them in other areas. For instance, a skill might be identifying your negative self-talk. If you're identifying your negative self-talk, then you know that not only in dealing with one specific situation, let's just say bullying, what are you telling yourself? If the bully is telling you you're stupid, you're dumb, you're ugly, do you begin to believe those? And those are things that you begin to tell yourself. So we would help you reverse those thoughts by making you say thoughts of the opposite. So you would coach yourself in those things. And if something would ever come up in the future, you can also use how to combat negative thoughts with a positive thought in another situation, as opposed to just having it in a therapeutic setting. And then lastly, I would say we help you to utilize rapid interventions. And this is important because it's not a quick fix, which rapid might indicate that we're giving you a quick fix to help you solve your problems, but that's actually contrary to what we're doing. I'm actually going to read what I believe is very helpful from Nikki Giant. She said, rapid interventions are used to help clients define the problem or issue they wish to change and explore and implement new patterns of behavior. A coach will help the clients stick to those patterns of new behaviors. And this is so helpful because you don't necessarily have that when you're dealing with trying to resolve issues on your own, because you kind of have that accountability person in your coach to help you stick to the goals that you say that you want to solve for yourself. So I believe this can be very helpful in a coaching scenario. So those are my 8 benefits of hiring a life coach for your kids. And I hope that this was helpful for you.